Hey guys, how's it going? Yeah, lots going on this week, this past week. Most important thing happened was the power transformer came back from Antek. John rewired a few things for me and it works perfect. I'm still a big proponent of a good old big ass toroidal, and honestly powering these Orchard Audio Ultra amplifier modules, it's the most simplest and cheaper than the Hypex, but the problem is the weight. If you don't mind lifting a 30-pound transformer around every time you gotta lift the amplifier and do stuff, it's great. But other than that, stick with the dual Hypex and the cap mags. Sound quality wise, it's, how can I say it? It's not a night and day difference whether you're using switching supplies with Leo's amps or you're using a toroidal. And anyways, the chassis he has right now, you can't put a toroidal in there anyways. So, there's pros and cons. The switching supplies are obviously going to cost you more money, right? I'll put a breakdown of the pricing and all that in the video here between how much the two Hypex would cost against one toroidal, but understand with the toroidal, it's a pure DIY thing. You got to get your own box. Leo's boxes won't work. Which brings me to another subject. This has been in the works for about a few weeks now. A friend of mine, George, I met him through Leo actually, over the phone and through emails and stuff. And I know I mentioned him in my Expona video, or the wrap up for the Expona video. And well, him and I have been working on a chassis, not Leo approved, not Orchard Audio. It's not going to be offered on their website or anything like this. This is purely something I'm doing for myself and that George is doing for his own DIY Ultra project. Basically what we've come up with is a much thicker base plate, all powder coated metal, all made in the USA. No China crap, no Italy stuff. It's, nice and solid. And what it is it's going to be an expandable box. So it's cut out for 6 channels, and the footprint on the board, we're actually going to have everything drilled out so you can either use the little Bosk or the little monoblock boards. You could mix and match if you wanted to. You got to be careful there because the power supplies are different between what the Ultra requires and what the little Bosk monoblocks require. But it's very cool. It's going to look super nice. It's going to look just like a world-class, amplifier box. And again, it's all designed and made here in the U.S. And it's going to be drilled out for Hypex power supplies. And it'll have a hole drilled out for the whole transformer assembly with the dual rectifiers, from Antek. And I'll put the specs up for anybody that wants to attempt buying Leo's amplifiers with the Antek power supply. I'll put all the part numbers, photos, and all that good stuff in the video. But I was so impressed. I mean, it just goes to show that simply a big old 1500 VA transformer with industrial grade bridge rectifier, full wave bridge rectifier, 2 big 15,000 microfarad caps, just worked great. And the way John's got the regulators wired up, I'm only using half of each. So one rectifier is plus 40 volts, the other rectifier is minus 40 volts. And so technically you're only using one of the 2 capacitors on the boards. But you can always add more capacitance. Just, tap off the plus and minuses very carefully, which is what I'm going to do. Those big Chemet's low ESR caps that I bought from Allied, I'm going to be putting those into the big ugly box. So yeah, for the time being, I'm going to be running the big ugly box here, the old Niles multi-channel amp, and you'll see some photos in the video here for that. But I'm so fucking happy, guys. I mean, I've been working on this thing since last summer. The hand-built idea didn't not that it didn't work, I just never got to the finish line with it, and then having a little extra income, I bought the boards from Leo, and I still got to buy 2 more for the 2 rear channels. So that's the news on the DIY front. We will be going to Speakerfest at the end of this month here in Arizona, August 27th, Fountain Hills Recreation Center in Fountain Hills. I guess it's Fountain Hills, Arizona, but it's a rich-ass suburb outside Phoenix, you know. So yeah, my buddy Jeff's got a shit ton of speaker companies lined up. I mean, he's fucking worked his ass off on this thing, man. That's what happens when you're retired, you know. But yeah, all bullshitting aside, man, he single-handedly got all these speaker manufacturers to get on board, and as you can see, ELAC pulled through for us. I'm so happy. Big thank you, shout out to Chris Walker. You know, we've been back and forth with emails for a while. He was on vacation. They had some issues at the warehouse, but at the end of the day, the bookshelves arrived last week. They're going to be raffled off at the Speakerfest. The 2 tower speakers here, which I'm going to make my review short and sweet. I'm not going to do something stupid like compare this to this, or this even, right? That's just stupid. I learned one thing with these speakers, that I have to do a little bit more homework with these guys. 3-dimensionality is awesome with these, right? You know, with the good old, you know, the horns and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, I can do a little bit more work with a bit better job. Oh, for fuck's sakes, come on, god damn it. Fuck you. I'm not editing this out. Fuck it. Everybody can watch me suffer. Bitch. So, yeah, I mean, the 3-dimensionality of these speakers, the really focused center image. Andrew Jones, as his last speaker project for ELAC, fucking knocked it out of the park once again. Now, I don't really have a history with ELAC, and honestly, until I got into this 2-channel audiophile shit, you know, a couple of years ago, I didn't even know they built speakers again. I had no clue. I mean, you know, I started following all the audiophile crap about 2017, right? And it was just because of YouTube. And then I said, ELAC? I remember ELAC from my uncle's dual 1229 turntable. He had an ELAC cartridge on it. And I remember the old ELAC Miracord turntable, which they've obviously revived, you know. Now, I did have a little bit of exposure to the ELAC sound back at Ron Bernay's house a couple of years back. You know, he invited myself and Kurt over one evening, and we actually got a preview of the Unified 2.0s, both the bookshelf version and the towered version, which was this guy's predecessor, I think. Fuck, I don't know. I think Cheap Audio Man Randy's more attuned to the ELAC lingo. I'm not. I just, you know, they're towers, those are bookshelves, they sound great, what the fuck. But yeah, it's, when we were at Ron's place, both Kurt and I had more of a preference to the bookshelves than we did the towers. And then Ron was going to give me the ELAC Uni 2.0s, but I couldn't make them work in this room at the time. I just didn't, you know, nothing I could, I'd take it over to my buddy Jeff's place, the guy who's organizing Speakerfest. Fucking, we dialed it in within minutes, right? It sounded like it did at Ron's place, right? And so anyhow, that was my brief exposure to ELAC. Now, I know I'm a year late to the party, but I don't give a shit, right? I'm doing this review just because I don't review speakers. In my garage and getting these things in, I saw the video of Randy showing his house. There was a clusterfuck and a half. I've been to Ron Bernay's place when he was here in Arizona. Fucking tower boxes, bookshelf boxes, fucking everywhere. Having to organize all that shit is a full-time job in itself. That's why I don't do reviews. That's why I don't kiss manufacturers' asses. That's why I have a full-time job. I do this channel for fun, for your guys' amazement, and I'm telling you, For me, if I hit 1,000 subscribers this year after just over 3 years of being on the air, to me hitting 1,000 is like Andrew Robinson hitting 100,000, right? Or Guttenberg or whatever, or Randy for that matter. You know, I just don't give a shit, right? But yeah, it's short and sweet review. The ELACs, they sound phenomenal. You have I mean, I totally get what Andrew Jones did here. He's got the concentric driver up top. He's got the upper bass driver below it, so it's all one cohesive unit. Then he's got 2 ports in the back of this. One's for the upper bass unit and one's for the lower bass unit, along with the slots. So, you know, it's a very cool speaker, and I think of it as a tiny tot, right? I think these are 5 1/4 drivers, and the bookshelves are 6-inch drivers, I believe. And some of the reviews I saw on this last year, or I mean, I kind of looked over them again this year. Everybody said there was no bass to these, that you have to have a sub. Bullshit. I can hit 40 hertz in this thing all day, right? 35 with a bit of attenuation, but we were watching movies in here, right? And it was fine. I mean, yeah, these will shake the room and shake the ground and all that stuff and give me a nice sweet mid-range and top, blah, blah, blah. But you're talking 2 different ranges of speakers. That's why I will not compare this to that, right? I'm doing this review on the merits of the speakers themselves, right? I did not set up the bookshelves as front, left, and right, because why bother? I set them up as surrounds, you know. And for temporary, I pulled out the old 104.2s with the planar in the middle, and it works, you know. I'm not going to listen to any 5-channel music with this setup, because that doesn't do, you know, 5-channel music any justice. But for watching movies and watching TV and dialogue, and, you know, it's fine, right? That's why I dragged it out of the garage. And yeah, you know, my big exciting thing was, yeah, we got the speakers for Speakerfest. Leo and I are basically going to run the room together. I'm going to run the tower setup. He's going to run the bookshelf setup. We'll have his streaming stuff in there. I'll have my Sony disc player so we can spin SACDs. We can do DSD files, PCM, and all this stuff. We're going to be showing off his streamer. You know, using Volumio and all that stuff. He's gonna have to teach me all that crap when he gets here, because I'm not messing with it. You know, he knows the stuff better than I do. You know, I use my Blue Sound, I use his DAC, you know, but I'm still gonna get that PS Audio DAC back in here at the end of the year. I'm on a mission. You know, prices are coming down on the used market, and they'll continue coming down. Cheers to that. And yeah, I mean, that's the big exciting news. It's a new chassis coming, not authorized by Leo, not approved by Leo, but, you know, I'm willing to work with anybody that is interested, if they don't mind lugging you know, with the chassis and assembly, I would probably bring it in closer to the 40-pound mark, right? And again, George is hoping to have everything done and ready for me before the August 27th deadline, because it would be nice to have it at the show just to kind of show off to people, right? And the modular thing, again, you can set it up as a 2-channel, 3-channel, 4-channel, 5-channel, 6-channel, whatever the fuck you want to do with it, right? 1 transformer, you're good to go. With the Hypex modules, you can only do 4. You know, I mean, I haven't tried stretching it, and I'd rather talk to Leo before I do something crazy like that. But with the 1500 VA transformer, you can easily run 6 amp modules without any issues. Leo actually spec'd a transformer out for it, and if you go on his website, he does say, yes, you can do a transformer setup with this, but no one has done it. I'm the first one to do it, and now that we can, it's another option. So guys, yeah, that's basically the end of my video. You know, enjoy the rest of your weekend, and thanks a lot for watching. And Mama Bear, Papa Bear, and Baby Bear are gonna hibernate for the next couple of weeks, and then after the show, I'll have these guys all set up again. Bye for now, guys. Thanks again for watching, and cheers.